Hey everyone, so this is another video about feedback, but in the other ones I've kind of recommended how to get feedback, but how do you give feedback? What is a structure that you can use to ensure that someone is understanding what you're trying to tell them? Because what's the point of feedback if people don't get it? So in this video, I'm going to reveal a simple model that you can use to give feedback to everyone around you. Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Benjamin Ritter. I'm a leadership and career coach that guides others to create a career they can love. So if you're stuck in a position, if your leader doesn't really feel like you're leading, send me a message. Let's make it work. Let's help you own your career and create a career that you can love. So in previous videos, I talked about how you can get feedback by asking for it, by giving it, but how do you actually frame feedback for yourself? How do you ensure that people understand the feedback that you're giving them? Feedback and recognition is actually the #1 reason why people leave their jobs. They don't feel like they're recognized. They don't understand if they're doing things right. They don't have clarity around it. So how can you as a leader or as a peer or just as a person give feedback so that it's understood? And so there's a simple model called SBIC, if it's constructive feedback, that you can use to give feedback. So in the SBIC model, S stands for situation. You want to get specific about the situation you're giving feedback about. It's not, hey, generally you do this. No, it's last week in this meeting at 8 a.m. or in our team leadership meeting or in yesterday during our conversation with Joanne. So you get very specific. That's what the S is. Now the B is about a specific behavior. Now, I'm going to keep saying the word specific because feedback needs to be specific. So now you have a specific situation and now you have a specific behavior. And behavior isn't an assumption about someone's motivations. It's not, hey, Steve's been late to meetings, so he's lazy. No, lazy is an assumption. The behavior is that he's late. And so when you're talking about feedback and giving feedback, you need to talk about a specific behavior. So I stands for impact, and impact the behavior had. So if someone is late to a meeting, the impact is that the meeting was delayed. Or the impact could be people perceive that you didn't care about the meeting or everyone's time. So again, getting specific about the impact and usually tying it into what they care about. And you want to tie it into what they care about to make sure that it really lands. Now C stands for commitment. So if you're giving constructive feedback, you need them to commit to something at the end of your feedback. So if someone's late to a meeting, the commitment can be, can you try showing up at 5 minutes before the meeting time? Or a commitment can be, can you tell me what you're going to do next? Can you tell me how you're going to fix this? And so when you're giving constructive feedback, you're asking them to really make a decision at the end. Well, how can we change this moving forwards? Because all feedback is developmental. You're not just complaining about someone's past behavior, you're working towards a future where the behavior is improved for a reason that matters not just to you, but also to the person you're giving feedback to. So the SBIC model, when you're giving positive feedback, is just SBI. So it's situation, behavior, and impact. So it could be, hey, yesterday at our 8 a.m. stand-up, I really love the energy that you brought to the table. You spoke out, you were really engaged, and I just felt like you were part of our team. It really was a nice change where previously that you've really stayed muted or had your video off. Keep that up. So that's positive, it's constructive. I gave a specific situation, a behavior, and the impact that it had. Now, if you're talking about, you're giving them negative feedback, so it's constructive feedback, not positive, you're going to add the C on the end and ask for commitment. Hey, yesterday at the 8 a.m. meeting with leadership, you were pretty quiet. You had your video off, you stayed muted, you didn't really engage, and so I didn't really feel like you were paying attention or that you were there. So in the future, can you please just try to speak up once every meeting? It's really going to help us feel more like a team, and it helps highlight you to the leadership. SBIC, I asked for commitment at the end. So try this out. Let me know how it goes. When we have a model to do something, it makes it easier to do it. And again, feedback is critical to retaining talent as well as developing talent. So thanks again, everyone. If you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel, hit the little bell next to that subscribe button to be notified of new content. And most importantly, everyone, keep on living for yourself.